with pictures of the city of Aarhus and some of the many sites to explore. A very warm welcome here to the 2021 TotalEnergies Thomas and Uber Cup Finals, the World Championship for men's and women's team. 16 teams in each of the Thomas and Uber Cup competitions from all around the globe. All 5 continents represented at the 2 tournaments for men's and women's team. And it's semi-finals day here in Denmark in terms of the Uber Cup competition. Here is the draw. And as you can see, 3 of the quarterfinals clear victories for Japan, Korea and China, whilst Thailand had to go the full distance yesterday against Indonesia. Both semi-finals contested at the same time here in Ceres Arena, and we'll focus on the semi-final in the upper half of the draw between the reigning defending champions Japan and the former champions Korea. So this is how it happened earlier today. Thomas Cup has only reached the quarterfinals so far, and we had a thrilling match where Japan had to come from 2-0 down to defeat Korea, and then home favorites Denmark qualified for the semifinals in the afternoon session. Now we're focusing on Uber Cup and the semi-final, and we'll have the team huddles here. First Japan. So tonight's session coming on here in the magnificent Ceres Arena. Darkness has fallen over Aarhus. It's 7 o'clock local time here, as we also take a look at the Korean team huddle. And here is the team lineups and the order of play for our match. We start out with Akane Yamaguchi, who also skippered the team who won the title back in 2018, up against the young and upcoming star from Korea, Seyoung. Then foes have become friends, as Fukushima and Matsumoto, who's faced each other in 2 World Championship finals. They've teamed up to play the winners of the World Tour finals in Thailand earlier this year, Lee So-hee and Shin Chung-chan, who incidentally also finished 4th at the Tokyo Olympics. Then the very important 3rd match, women's single, Sayaka Takahashi, sister of former Olympic gold medalist in women's doubles, Ayaka Takahashi, now retired. She's up against Kim Ga-eun from Korea. Misaki Matsutomo and youngster Nami Matsuyama is also reasonably scratch pairing. They're up against the Olympic bronze medalist from Korea, Kim So-young and Kong Hee-young. And then it might go the full distance, and we'll have a fierce battle between youngster Asuka Takahashi and Simu Jin from Korea. So here is the matchup in the first women's single. Akane Yamaguchi up against Seyoung. First on court is Yamaguchi. And she's won all her matches so far in this Uber Cup campaign. Actually, quite interesting that some years ago she had as her biggest ambition to win the Uber Cup. So obviously it was before 2018. That was her biggest dream. She'd seen the Japanese men's team win the Thomas Cup back in 2014, and she felt that could be great to win it for the women's team as well. So here is Seyoung, the only 19-year-old Korean who has showed so much promise since we first saw her. That was in fact 3 years ago in 2018 when she played the third single on the Korean team back then. Now she has the responsibility of being first on court.
Red or black? So black is for you.
And head to head, 2-all. Yamaguchi won the last 2 encounters.
Hey, she serves. Which spot is spot? Okay.
So Yamaguchi won the coin toss and elected to serve, and Seyoung just stayed on this near side of the court. And there's a difference to playing in the third singles and then suddenly going first on court, having the responsibility to start your team off in a good fashion. Here is the profile for Akane Yamaguchi. She's from Katsuyama in the Fukui prefecture in Japan, 24 years of age. She was the youngest winner of a World Tour tournament of Super 500 level. That was back in 2013 in Japan Open. Currently ranked 4th in the world. And here is how she's done so far in the tournament. As I told you, she's won all her matches. Rather convincing 21-20. That's not possible there against Yuan Li. I think she scored 22. But nonetheless won all her matches. She wasn't selected against France, where Sayaka Takahashi played the first women's single. And Seyoung in the quarterfinal against Denmark had to come from 1 game down to beat Mia Blichfeldt, but did so convincingly. And she's at her highest ranking ever at number 8. Special as she was the first ever middle school player to qualify by by virtue, wasn't getting a coach selection to get into the national center. She's not played a lot, except for the quarterfinal against Blichfeldt. She only played the decisive group match against Paiyu Po, didn't play versus Egypt and Tahiti. So our umpire, Jörg Huberts, and service judges Jojan John from Bahrain. He's coming into the picture there. Both players lost in the quarterfinal at the recent Olympics in Tokyo. Yamaguchi to PV Sindhu, went on to win the bronze, and Seyoung to Chen Yunfei, who won the gold medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Korea, represented by Seyoung. And on my left, Japan, represented by Akane Yamaguchi. Japan to serve, level, play.
Excellent cross drop from Seyoung starts this first women's single that I've been looking very much forward to. It's two players that match each other really well. Good shot from Yamaguchi, who is quick on her feet, gets a lot back at the opponent, and definitely not afraid of playing long rallies. And the opposite side, Seyoung seems to be very strong tactically to tailor her game to her opponent. Good shot quality, so we were with us yesterday when she defeated Mia Blickfeld. Good shot from Yamaguchi. The suspicion that the clear from Seyoung didn't have the exactly correct length. But yeah, Japan defending champions in the tournament, and I don't really know if they're the favorites here. Possibly small favorites in second women's singles and third women's singles, but not by a lot, in my opinion. Oh, I thought that looked like he was in, but called long by the line judge, and no objection from Yamaguchi. Both players have 2 challenges if they disagree in the call by the line judges, and if they are mistaken, the players, twice, then there's no more challenges before the next game commences. Sacrifices herself there, Seyoung, but very alert by Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi, who seemed in great shape 2 weeks ago in Finland in the Sudirman Cup, the World Team Championship for mixed team, and back then she defeated Chen Yufei in the final match. Anyway, she couldn't prevent China from winning that title, but she got a win over the reigning Olympic champion, and that's also worth something. It's landed in. And Seyoung really good at reading the opponent's patterns in the game. We saw it in the semi-final where she was not really into the first game against Blickfeld, but then was absolutely dominant in the following 2. It's gone long.
4-5.
Seyoung also played Chen Yufei in Sudirman Cup in Vantaa, Finland. That was the only match she lost. On the 3 other matches that she played. That's a great net shot.
5-4.
Here the Korean team. stayed on Yamaguchi's side.
7, 5.
4 consecutive points for Seyoung. That's a great clear.
Service over. 6.
Now the playing conditions here in CS Arena in Aarhus have been quite slow throughout the competition. I'm not totally sure if that is still the case. Followed a couple of Denmark's matches in the afternoon session, and it seemed like wait, she lost a step there, Yamaguchi. So that shot there didn't look like she was using a whole lot of power to get it away. If that's the case, then it's another challenge for players to sort of readjust.
9, 6.
Really good start for Seyoung, in my opinion, who has some of the same skills as Chen Fei in terms of neutralizing her opponent, making sure that she's always in a reasonable position, and if not, then the opponent has to come up with something magnificent. And that puts a lot of mental pressure
10, 6.
on opponents normally, and I think also Yamaguchi feels it. We saw in the beginning that she threaded a couple of cross smashes down the line, but now mistakes are creeping in. It's gone long, and
11, 6.
winning 8 of the last 9 points, Seyoung takes a lead here. Mid-game interval, 5 points drift, 11-6.
So now you're doing like game. Sometimes she here game look, you wait too low, she control. If you can jump, you block. Only block down, block blank up, just block, more good, because she at the back can block. Take up more good, Other than that, your return, try return take up. Here maybe down.
So Wong Tat-Ming, native Malaysian, but now coaching Korea's women's singles, and
11, 6.
is advising Seyoung to see if you can break the trajectory of Akane Yamaguchi, so she doesn't take it too low on the backcourt, because then
Service over.
Yamaguchi will take over the control of the rally, according to Wong.
Hey. So that's too late. Okay, now it's going to look at you. Nothing. Now you want to tell it?
So not allowed to challenge. Seyoung, Jörg Huberts says it's too late, it has to be immediate. Again, and Seyoung winning the long rallies, having great shot quality. She has an advantage in terms of reach, as she's 170 centimeters, that's 5'6", whilst Yamaguchi only 156, equals 5'1", so 5 foot advantage in terms of reach.
38.
Very alert, able to kill it as she reaches it high. That's well played by Yamaguchi. So one of the solutions for Yamaguchi could be to pretty much do the same as Seyoung, ask her opponent to try and open up the court. There was the block that one Tapman talked about. Diving defense, excellent quality. So, as you can see, at the moment, only lights on one court, on the adjacent court. There should have been first women's singles in the match between Thailand and China. And Thailand had, for the first time, fielded Ratchanak Intanon in first women's singles. Unfortunately, she's had to withdraw with the score of 5-2 in the first game, 5-2 for Chen Yufei. So we don't really know whether it's an injury or she's feeling unwell or what's happened, but very unfortunate for Ratchanak and for Thailand. I hope there's nothing serious in there. I'm just getting information that it is a shoulder injury that has forced Ratchanak Intanon to withdraw from the first women's single in the match, China versus Thailand. So China 1-0 up. That's accurate play from Yamaguchi there, but trailing by quite a bit so far. Last match they played against each other, Yamaguchi won 23-22, sorry, 23-21 in the decider. It was the Badminton Asia Team Championships, and that match lasted 83 minutes, so we could be in for a long match where stamina could be decisive. Well left. Good shot.
Service over. 13-18.
Reverse slice there from Akane Yamaguchi. Makes the shuttle stop really close to the net. Still able to play it with some speed. Excellent change of pace there by Yamaguchi. Sensed that the shot from An Seyoung was a little bit too high. Still trailing by 4 points. Simply too short. And immediately An Seyoung is there to punish Yamaguchi. Also too short there. Look at the feet of An Seyoung when she intercepts the shots to the backcourt from Yamaguchi. It's way in front of the first service line, so she's not at all getting the right length or height at the moment. And now 6 game points for An Seyoung. Excellent shot, good retrieval. And it's going wide. So An Seyoung has struck first. As Jörg Huberts informs us. First game to An Seyoung. And here's the confirmation, 21-14.
And second thing you check, if she gives shot slow, you don't wait. Slow, you go. Now you wait. That's not very slow. She gives slow, you see. Gives slow, go inside. Don't wait. If fast, okay, fast. Or must go fast. She's not fast. And then now second set, more busy, she will come down. Zero start.
So, first game to An Seyoung, whose best result, in my opinion, is the win in the 2019 French Open, where she beat Carolina Marin in the final. This year she started out by losing twice to the former Olympic champion from Spain. That was in the 2 tournaments in the Thailand leg, where she lost semi-final on both occasions to Marin, and went on to lose the semi-final to Seyoung in the World Tour finals, and didn't play from then and until the Olympic Games. If one looks down at the tournaments she's played and who she's beaten and who she's lost to, she is very, very few losses against lower ranked players. So it really takes a lot to compete with this young Korean. Oi, fantastic save by Seyoung. Akane Yamaguchi did everything right in that rally, in my opinion, and almost had it in the palm of her hand. 49 shots. Look at the way she closes down the net. But Seyoung, how can she sort of keep her composure there instead of just trying to avoid getting hit by the shot from Akane Yamaguchi? That's the cooler when you played a really, really good rally and you see your opponent make a save like that. That was a 99% sure point for Yamaguchi that just went the other way. Let's see how she responds. It's landed in. Challenge from Seyoung. And there's a lot of confusion about these challenges here. Now, Seyoung wasn't allowed to challenge before, so she was afraid that would happen again. And she was right. I think our umpire, Jörg Kupertz, had a suspicion that it was called out as well. She probably should have left that one, Yamaguchi. This one here. It would have been better to take a look at where it actually was in terms of the back line than trying to survive there. Gone wide. It was a little bit of duff information I gave you that she's currently ranked 4th. That is not correct. She's ranked 5th at the moment. That's also gone wide. I don't think Yamaguchi has the mental strength to apply the game that's needed. Also, strapping on her left knee there might sort of prevent her from playing a long match. Applying that strategy, has to go and search for the winners. But that 5th ranking of Yamaguchi, that's not the highest ranked Japanese player. The highest ranked is Nozomi Okuhara, but she is not here in Aarhus, in Denmark, and she's withdrawn from the tournaments coming up here in Europe after the Thomas and Juba Cup. And that is because she rolled her ankle before the team left for the tournaments here in Europe, including the Sudirman Cup. As we see, one of the rare mistakes from Seyoung. So hopefully Okuhara will have a speedy recovery. Japanese team suffering a bit of injuries, as in Finland, Chiharu Shida plays women's doubles with Matsuyama, also rolled her ankle, and they already had Sayaka Hirota and Wakana Nakahara out, so they've had to come up with some new combinations real quickly, and it's also sort of put an even bigger responsibility on the shoulders of Yamaguchi.
9-3.
I don't think we're getting that fantastic thrill that I had hoped for. Seems like Seyoung is just too good today. She moves really well on court, Seyoung. Yamaguchi trying to move her here, and that's the block. Intercepted, but a much needed point for the Japanese player.
4-9.
Even the officials have been roped in to support the team there.
Thank you.
That cross net drop became much too high and an easy kill for Yamaguchi. She's playing way too short. Easy interceptions for. Look at the feet. Look at the feet. It's mid-court, and then if you can't get the correct length on, then you're in trouble. And that's a good smash, but if it's too much standalone events, then it won't matter. Excellent defense by Seyoung. So 6 point up at the mid-game interval here, and 1 game to the good for the Korean.
So a strong point now, she cannot kill.
Yes, diving defense, excellent pictures.
Quad 1, 27.
Certainly said something to Jörg Kupertz. Unfortunately, I didn't really catch it. So, can she give it a last try? Yeah, of course she can, but will she be successful? Yamaguchi is he's playing these high clears, but that means she's going to run an awful lot. That's not normally something she's afraid of, but this is where Seyoung is keeping a really, really good shot quality. She's putting a little bit of pressure on Yamaguchi, so she's controlling the rallies, can easily cover the court. There's a good chance again. It just seems so easy, the shots that Seyoung is playing, but it really takes a lot of practice to be able to play with that quality. Little deception, amazing shots, and Yamaguchi tries to intercept but puts it wide. Very nice rally. And again, one of the long ones, 50 shots. Look at that. Little delay in the cross flat push there from, it wasn't a push, but cross flat drive almost from Seyoung. She is almost defenseless, Yamaguchi here. Another mistake. Brilliant shot by Seyoung. Wow, she's played with high quality in this match here. Korea and Japan also played this morning, but that was in the Thomas Cup competition, the quarterfinals. And Korea, they were up 2-0 in that match before Japan eventually came back and won it 3-2. Check. Excellent play. He was in total control, Seyoung, and satisfied coach here. A little flick of the racket, very well placed, but there's not a lot of room to fit it into there. Otherwise, Seyoung would have gotten to it. Brilliant. Yeah, she feels that this is decisive. Seyoung. Given that Korean women's singles in second and third perhaps is a little bit underdogs, then this is a really important win for Korea, because a win, I think it's going to be 14 match points for Seyoung. So, a convincing victory for Seyoung, and she is satisfied. And just make sure that the photographers get the winning picture as well. Here is confirmation of the score. Each game lasted 18 minutes. The score 21-14, 21-7. And a very good start for Korea. So now she's done what was expected of her, or hoped for by the Korean team, Seyoung. I wonder if that bandage on the left knee is more significant than it looked for Yamaguchi. I don't think she was capable of playing the long rallies. Here is the winning point. Another good placed cross smash. First a little bit of relief, and then the joy of contributing a point to her team. And perhaps also a little bit of relief. I did it. So next match coming up here on Court 1 is the women's double. It's the scratch pair of Fukushima and Matsumoto. They're up against Lee and Shin from Korea just after the highlights. So, Aarhus by Night. Actually, the title of a Danish movie about the life of a film crew in the second largest city in Denmark, situated very nicely by the sea. Excellent surroundings for the Thomas and Juba Cup. So, first women's single